with opportunities to win lots of prizes every Monday from 1:30 to 2 p.m. Auzubillahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Radio Lansar FM 90.4, 105.6 meter meris. Baksha Gufta Khan is here with her program Range Hayat, and its colors of life, inner and outer beauty. And with very heavy heart, I wanted to start my program because this is the program attribute to our sister Safura Bibi Khan, who passed away last week Thursday, and janaza was on Friday, and a lot of articles about her. But what I felt today, I invited a very, very respected guest. And for the reason I invited him, because he was very close to Safura towards this time, and we can talk about her and we can talk about inner beauty. Why I'm saying inner beauty? Inner beauty will start not from the outer scale, on the skin, on the hair, which everyone knows I'm a beautician and I talk about outer beauty in my program as well. But inner beauty start when our heart, the eyes of our heart gets open. And once the eyes of our heart gets open, that's how we can see the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of this world and akhirah as well. So Safura Bibi Khan was one of the person that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her the inner beauty. The beauty which they can see the real things, which they can see the blessing, which they can see the people are suffering, and where they can see the work, the deeds, what they are here for. Safura Bibi was one of them. So I'm inviting my guest, Brother Nazir Malik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Nazir.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you and all the listeners of Al Ansar Land.
Brother Nazir, I'm very, very excited and happy. I'm very excited and happy that you said yes to my call for Range Hayat. And that's what I'm telling you, that you and Safura got that one thing in common, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the eyes of heart within you and Safura. And towards the end of the time, you were with her all the time. So I wanted to ask you about her work, and how it impacted you, and how it benefit, definitely, we know, because she was attached to Sanzaf. So she was doing lots of good work. We have to acknowledge her work, and we have to tell people that how we can work amazing. The passion of Safura was amazing, and you also doing lots and lots of work. So the mic is yours. You can talk whatever you want to say and share about Sister Safura, and share about humanity, and as the time we are going through this trial periods of fitna as well. Ji Nazir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Shaguf Tabaji, you know what? I think it is a beautiful topic, and it deserves the remembrance of a very deserving person. I really wished, after I had the last program with her, I've had so many calls from people from Al Ansar Land, young and old, that were so motivated with the chat that she and I had on radio. We motivated people even at the age of 92. People phoned me and said, Nazir, you guys have actually motivated my mother, who is disabled and feel now strengthened in spite of her disability. And that is what Safura was all about. Diligently, in spite of her impediment, she wouldn't miss a show on Al Ansar every Wednesday. Now this shows dedication. This shows love. This shows that a person would look for doing things for others before they do things for themselves.
Yes.
And that's exactly the position of a person with impediment. When you are we have the impediment of the eyesight, it's even more. You become so conscious about everything that you say. You become so conscious about everything that you do. You become so conscious about the needs of others that you see to those needs before you see to your own needs. And the greatest thing about Safura was that, um, is that she always, always saw to the needs of others before her own needs. And she should be an inspiration. From birth, she was blind. She didn't sit down in her home. She didn't sit down and say, God has given me blindness and I'm already blessed with heaven. Any person that's blind from birth is blessed with heaven. Declaration that heaven is guaranteed for them. But she didn't take that. She didn't take that and sit down and say, you know what? Why should I do anything in my life except lead a normal life? No, she went out to see how she could help other blind people or other disabled people. Safura and I had a long history. We have done so many projects together. I remember in the days when we ran my travel agency, Malik Travel and Tours, and she needed to take a group of blind people to Mauritius. And we made that a reality for her. Until the last day, she remembered that. And I had the good fortune, really, I feel so good that I had to lead her janaza. One blind person leading the janaza of another blind person. And how does this sound in the eyes of Allah? There's a blind person making an appeal. And the blind person making an appeal for another blind person, Ya Allah, please raise her status to the highest of the high. Huh? Yes. You think Allah won't listen to that?
No, definitely.
Huh? And I felt I needed to do something like that.
For
all that this woman has done. What this woman has done for public in spite of her impediment. I remember very clearly in the days when I was sighted and I used to see her come to the studios of Al Ansar, how prepared she would be with that file, with braille writing on them, and be able to take that show to the extent that she wanted to. She would reach out to people that were able in their homes to encourage them. Guys, you know what? Be conscious. Be conscious about the fact that you may be a disabled person, but you can still contribute to society.
Yeah,
irrespective of your disability.
Yeah. No, what you're telling, Brother Nazir, that whenever I have seen Safura, she was like in a mission. Whenever she comes, we mix alarm and everything, she was on the mission. But I am saying that, you telling that one blind person for the other blind person. But blind not to see the world's top beauty is a different thing. But the vision of your people's heart becomes so clear and so amazing that I'm telling you, it really touches the heart of the people who have this physical eyesight. So I always admire you. You always, I was the one who did the Hajj, which I always tell my listeners with Malik Travels. It was the only Hajj I had, and it was my, the memory of that Hajj, how it was. So that's what I'm thinking. Safura never had eyesight in her life. She didn't know the beauty, but you knew the beauty of world. How you feel now when you attach with Safura's work, this kind of, and you still working on the passion of yours, of all the naat and the lectures and the things. So I wanted to know about you as well, that how are you feeling? How do you feel like about the opening of your internal eye? जैसे आपके दिल की आँख खुल गई है, तो आपको कैसा लगता है इस दुनिया में? That's what I want.
Okay, I'd like to inform you and the listeners of Al Ansar, please take note of what I am saying.
Yes.
You see, the day that Allah takes away your vision, the day that Allah takes away your vision, whether it be by birth or whether it be in your lifetime, you then Allah strengthens your mind. He strengthens your mind to the highest limit.
Exactly.
To such an extent that, you know what, nothing ever will scare you, nothing ever will stop you from reaching the heights that you want to reach. Because why? If Allah has taken your eyes and He's given you the strength of mind, then you become totally reliable on Allah. If Allah has given you this impediment, remember when Allah left Musa alayhi salam on River Nile, Musa alayhi salam was left in the hand of Allah. And it was the taqwa of Musa alayhi salam's mother that Allah will take care of my son. And like it was the taqwa of Hajra, that, you know what, if Ibrahim alayhi salam leaves us in this barren desert with me and Ismail, Allah will take care of our needs. And that's the status a blind man reaches, or a blind person reaches.
The taqwa
you
become
reach
very
that
highest
stage of taqwa that if Allah has given you this, then He will definitely make intizam. The word is intizam in the Urdu language, and He will definitely take care of your needs and and whatever you have to do in your life. But don't underestimate. Don't underestimate a blind person and feel sorry. You don't feel sorry. What you need to do is encourage that blind person. Encourage that blind person. Help that person to be as normal as possible. Because that person's determination is one that is higher than you who is sighted.
100%.
You that is sighted, you have fears. Your vision gives you fears. A blind person have no fear.
Exactly.
Has no fear. And therefore, we go to the end of the world to be able to see. If we are in this state and you hear the voice of a person in need, if you hear the voice of a person in need, you become anxious and say, how can I help that person? And you go to the end of the world to be able to do that. And that's exactly what Safura did. Safura never feared. And if there was a need by another blind person or a disabled person, she would go out, make out those calls. I remember not so long ago, there was a Jalsa in Maritzburg, and she needed a vehicle to transport 7 people. And she phoned me and I said, Safura, don't fear, it's done. And Alhamdulillah, 7 blind people went to the Jalsa in Maritzburg for the blind, and they all came back very, very happy. Right? And that's what Safura did. She made that day a reality for those 7 people. Like that, every day of her life, she never feared to ask anybody to help those that were in need. And that's the character of Safura. And that's why she was appropriately employed by Sanzaf. Sanzaf is the organization that reaches out, and they used her to reach out to people. So don't underestimate the power of a person that's disabled with blindness. The determination of a person with blindness becomes even more than the person that is sighted. And wallahi, I swear to you, I feel so much closer to my Rabb now. I feel so much closer to my Rabb and my beloved Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam now than even when I was sighted.
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
Because I feel my Allah's presence when I need something. I feel my Habib's presence when I need something and when I need to do something. And a very good example is the example of the masjid right now. We've undertaken so much of work in this masjid, and really, it is only Allah's will and the blessings of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam that these things becomes possible. So that is what Safura led a life of. And I'm so glad that she didn't sit down in her home and say that I'm a blind person and therefore it's befitting for me to sit in my home and wait for handouts to come to me. No, she worked her day. She worked her life to be able to stand by her own and be able to sustain herself and be able to say to Allah, Ya Allah, in spite of your impediment, I'm here today in your courts, Ya Allah. I didn't only just sit down and say that I'm blind. But Ya Allah, I went out and I stood out for people that needed my help in spite of the impediment that you gave me. So Ya Allah, you've created me as a human being, and so did you give me that strength as a human being to be able to match the challenges of life.
So actually,
and that was Safura.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Safura gave us the lesson. Like after this, she is disabled, right? She would have definitely worked some way or little bit, but the way she helped people out. It's not like she's only helping herself. One side is she was helping herself, but the best part which I get inspired that she was in sense of she was in working for other people. So imagine, alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the eyes. We still can help people. We can go more forward. But as you mentioned, you people are the chosen people where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you more energy, more determination and more passion towards the people who are in need. I can feel from your voice, Brother Nazir. I know you are a very, very compassionate person, passionate person, because I read Hajj and I remember that the way you people used to take for tawaf, the other groups, whoever they come from, but the other groups also join us because of the passion in your work, your deed and your voice. But today, I can tell you the difference that whatever you sing, that you really, really close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is such a beautiful achievement, such a beautiful and high achievement.
I want to send a message, a very strong message,
yes,
to all the people listening on Al Ansar radio right now, and whatever medium. I'm appealing to each and every one of you. If you are disabled in any form, whether physically or whether visually, please, Allah has put a test on you. It is only but a test to raise your status in the court of Allah.
100%.
He tests those that He loves.
100%.
Oh, listeners, please listen to me. He tests those that He loves and raise their status according to their conviction, to their taqwa and their reliance on Allah. So please don't take this and sit down and say, oh Allah, you've disabled me in this form and therefore I'm not able to do anything. No, the greatest thing that Allah has given the human being, and that's why the human beings are called Ashraful Makhlukat, is the mentality, the intelligence and the mind, which gives you that differentiation between powerless and powerful,
exactly,
good and bad, energetic and non-energetic. So wake up from that bed if you're lying there. Wake up from the chair if you're sitting there all day. Wake up and find a way that you could help others. Wake up and find a way that you can help yourself and not being a burden to your own family. And those that are looking after these people that are disabled, or even those that don't have vision, Allah will raise your status too by looking after those that are impaired. Shu'aib alayhi salam was blind. When Allah had given him blindness the first time, Allah restored his eyes. The second time, and Allah then said, oh Shu'aib, now he got blind again the second time. Oh Shu'aib, what is wrong with you? He says, Ya Allah, how I love to cry in your love. And having said that I cry in your love, I lose my vision. Allah said, oh Shu'aib, alayhi salam, no problem. You on the day of Hashr, you and your group, those that are blind and those that are semi-blind, will be all under your umbrella. And even those that walked a blind person for 10 steps will be under your umbrella. And he says, Ya Allah, okay. And what happens? He says, everybody will enter Jannah. Everybody will enter Jannah except those under your umbrella, under your Jannah. And he says, but why? Shaykh al-Islam says, Ya Allah, but why? He says, on the day of when everybody has entered Jannah, you and your group will be the first people to see my tajalli.
Allah.
You will be the first ones to see me, even before those that see me and see Jannah.
What a
Allahu Akbar. Kya darajat hai? What is the daraja of a blind person? And even if you are looking after one, don't be fed up. Allah will raise your status just as He raises the status of that person you're looking after.
Very nice, very nice. Jazakallah
समझे?
so much.
So-
जी जी मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है नज़ीर that you are talking with such like like especially after Safura Bibi Khan marhuma, she passed away, but she
Safura-
really left the legacy.
Safura was an impeccable person.
Yes.
The courage that she lived with. I remember I used to see that poor woman come with Uber taxis to Al Ansar.
Oh my God.
Really,
Yes.
my heart used to bleed that here is a woman that has made her way irrespective by what means, but she used to do her show.
Yes.
She used to compile her own show. She used to do it and inspire people on air. She used to motivate people on air. And those that were around her, she used to work with them and make sure their dreams came true.
Like,
even as an impaired person,
yes. So-
she
and
made
she
sure
never
people's
wait.
dreams
Yeah.
used to come through.
She never
And-
waited or put someone burden. Oh, I'm doing a show. I can't come with this thing, with that thing. I have so much of problem. No. Because her mission
No.
and her vision was clear. She wanted to help people. She wanted to do the best job with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the human being. To help
Shafta, she
others.
passed away on a Jummah.
Wow.
Her Jummah, what
Wow.
more can you say?
I'm telling you.
She's no records, no question, no answers. And wallahi, I touched her janaza. Her janaza was as light as a feather.
Mm-hmm.
If those are not signs of a jannati, then what is it?
True.
Allah has definitely accepted her in His courts as a jannati.
Exactly.
May we all follow it, and may we all be stop being selfish for each other, for ourselves, and live for the pleasure of Allah and see to the needs of others.
Yes.
And Safura was definitely in the state of mutma'in. She was definitely, her nafs was in the state of mutma'in. She was not in the state of Ammara or Lawama, where she passed all those stages.
Mm-hmm.
She passed all those stages where she never lived for herself. She never desired for herself. She always desired for others. And what after that is that she cared. She didn't have, to the love or passion of this world. She gave it up. She lived for the pleasure of Allah.
Exactly.
And now that is a state of mutma'in where the mind is content. The heart is content.
Bishak.
Content with the pleasure of Allah, with the condition that Allah has placed her, and she went out to reach out to others. And definitely her ruh went out in the state of mutma'in.
Jazakallah.
May Allah raise her status to the highest abode in Jannah with the shafaat of Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam in her qabr and the akhirah. May He make her grave from the gardens of paradise, and may He widen her qabr and make that window visible to the gardens of Jannah, insha'Allah ta'ala. And may He also give sabr jameel to his families, to her families.
Jazakallah so much, Brother Nazir Malik, to give me time on air about this attribute towards Sister Safura Khan. And I in my heart, I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is already blessed the people who have any kind of impairment in their life as well, because Allah give you more power, more determination, more kind of senses somehow as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must bless the people who are taking care of the people who are like that as well. Inshallah फिर आपसे मुलाकात होगी. अब आप बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका कि आप हमारे पास अब मेरे प्रोग्राम में तशरीफ लाए. जज़ाकल्लाह खैर ब्रदर नज़ीर.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This was Brother Nazir. Now we are going to Shagufta Ji Ke Totke and some of the adverts.
Visit the Al Ansar shop for a wide range of gift options for ladies, men, and kids. Make this Ashura special by spoiling your loved ones with our unique and thoughtful gifts, perfect for sharing the joy and spirit of the day. Al Ansar shop, your one-stop destination of Ashura gifting.
The views and opinions expressed by the presenters and guests of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
हा 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 अब टाइम हुआ है शगुफ्ता जी के टोटके टिप्स. with Shagufta Khan.
Expressions by Shagufta Khan. Women only for all the occasions. Contact me, Shagufta Khan, 083-421-2930 or 031-208-2204. Cultivate your inner beauty on Range Hayat with Shagufta Khan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Time is very less, but still my brother Ted and brother Azam is telling, go ahead with your outer beauty. And today's outer beauty, we are talking about hair fall. Hair fall, which is one of the worst, like very common problem at the moment, and especially in winter. Why it's happening, how we can control, and how we can do for the children, for the people who have dandruff, who have eczema, who have, any kind of operation or something, and the hair start falling. Because after COVID, I'm telling you, half of the people who had COVID, they really became like bold as well. And that's how I remember since then I have started to research, because as I mentioned to you, my grandfather was Hakim, and that's how I came to incorporate his wisdom, his remedies and things. And plus everyone is going for natural. Yes, we do have a lot of chemical reaction, chemical things that can benefit us, but no to chemicals. So how can we prevent and we can control the dry scalp, which is very important. The winter is here. Everyone is having dry scalp and dandruff and eczema or psoriasis as well. And the people who, first of all, I have to say to everyone, whether it's a small baby, whether it's our brothers, whether our sisters, whether auntie, that once a week you have to do hot oil massage. Hot oil massage with your fingertips on your, for your roots as well, on your scalp, which is very important. Which oil to use, Shagufta? You can use whatever you like, but we also offer hot oil treatment, which is only 100 Rand. Once a week you can do, when you can see how you can, we do the steams on. But what you can do, you can take the towel, you can put the towel, wet the towel, put it in microwave for 2 minutes. And once the towel is steamed, you can apply on your head, and you will see it actually what happened. It activates the process, and the oil, the cuticle of the hair also can accept the oil as well. And when the all that on the scalp, when you steam it, what happened, it opens the pores and the oil goes on the top layer of your skin, and it's really remove the dandruff and the dryness of your skin. Now we have so many things we can say. Expressions. Asli is making beautiful shampoo, which if you can follow me on Instagram under, which is the handle of on the Instagram is expressions_Shagufta. Expressions_Shagufta, which you can follow me. I will be posting that the whole process of shampoo, how we making without a drop of chemical. And that shampoo really cleans your scalp and hair. And the best thing you can, the thing that the hair fall can get control straight away. And the condition, the cuticle of your hair is very, get thick as well. But when we are taking this kind of thing, we have food for hair as well, which you can take intake. You can take 1 teaspoon with all the seeds in which we have, we have all kinds of seed which are very, very beneficial as well. That pumpkin seed and flax seed and sesame seed. We have a thing for the food for hair, for the people who hair are extremely thin and falling for any kind of reason. So for inner too, because this is the crop. Hair is the crop of our body, so we have to feed the our crop as well. And plus, as I mentioned to you, you have to use the good shampoo, sulfate free, which we offer, and plus the treatment. We can have protein treatment, we can have other very easy treatments we can have. And as I mentioned to you, you can have oil treatment. But some people complain, I remember clearly last few times, that they cannot handle oil. So what they can do to take the thing out, the dryness and the dandruff out. So you can use the protein treatment. You can follow the any YouTube. You can do any research for that, or otherwise you can join us or Asli products, where we can really give you the treatment for your scalp to get moist as well. Plus, don't use too much for long the hair dryer. The dryer also makes your hair scalp very dry. So I'm not saying don't use at all, but from far you can use for a little while and try to dry your hair naturally with the sunlight. This is the time for me to wrap up my program, Range Hayat, in which we spoke about Sister Safura Khan. Brother Nazir Malik was a guest as well, and hope you people enjoyed and understand what is the power when Allah Ta'ala take any kind of ability of human. Allah SWT bless them for so much as well. Inshallah next week Monday फिर हाजिर होंगी. इजाजत चाहती हूँ. अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू. रंगे हयात with Shagufta Khan.
Radio.